Alright, so that sounds cool.
Bruh, look at this dude. Wait till you see the. No, 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 no. Look at the top of his head.
Yo, what's going on, guys? 2K1 back here. I was originally going to show you guys how to make a sample like this, but I went back, tried to edit the video, and I wasn't recording audio this entire time, so that's on me. I'm stupid for that. But yeah, so instead of not uploading it all, I'm gonna show you guys, I'm gonna break down step by step how I did make this sample. So the sample sounds something like this. Alright, so yeah, it's a nice, cool little melody. It's really like Cubeatz. It's really like Cubeatz inspired, something he sent out to like Murda or Southside, or even Pyrex maybe, or any big time producer in general. Like samples are definitely the new wave. But I'm gonna show you guys, break it down step by step for how I did this. So I start off with this little bell one shot. Literally just sounds like that. And I came up with this chord progression. So I started off with A, C sharp, and F. And originally I just had these notes kind of arpeggiating, and then went ahead and added some bass notes. So originally didn't have any of this top melody, so it just sounded like. So literally just sounded like that. And once I had these bass notes established, I went ahead and added top melody, and this just sounded like this. And so it just complements the entire melody itself. And then once I got into the second 4 bars of this little bell melody, I added little different notes, or really this A and this G, to kind of make little like chord stabs in the second part of the melody. After I had that established, I went ahead and added this woodwind. So I liked it like that, but I went ahead and started adding like little different things that like make it sound more unique. So I added this little slide down here at the G sharp. So it kind of slides down into that C sharp. So yeah, that was like the lead. Added this guitar, and I just like established like a whole bass line with it. I was kind of going for like a little Latin guitar kind of deal, just playing like literally all triplets. So I just had that on loop, and then with all 3 of these melodies together, it sounds like. So I thought that was pretty cool, and once I had that done, I went ahead and added this bass line. This bass line literally just follows notes that are in the chord progression and some of the bass notes from the guitar. So just had that going, and I originally had this all laid out, and I didn't have this trombone or this trumpet and this harp at first. So with that trumpet, I kind of just followed around the bass line, and then I did the exact same thing as I did with the woodwind. I added these little slides just to like spice it up just a little bit. So I switched it up like halfway through those 4 bars. So for the last 2, instead of just having a slide right before this E, I also added another E in a higher octave to come right before this A sharp. So that sounds cool. And then last little thing I did was just kind of like for ear candy, was this little like piano roll with the harp kind of deal, just like literally just plucking at the strings. So it just sounds literally like this. Almost sounds like a video game startup or something like that. Once I had all these melodies together, I went ahead and rendered them out into their own WAV files, just to save CPU and for it to be easier to arrange. And once I did that, I didn't worry about any of the effects processing yet. I just went ahead and started composing it. So I had bells just come in at the intro. First part of the hook, I added a little piano harp type of deal and the flute along with the guitar. And then I had it just repeat. And then once we got into the first half of first part of the verse, I took out the flute, left the guitar, left the bells, and added that trumpet back in. So yeah, then that was done. I brought the flute back in, just like it was at the first part of the hook. And then for like a little bridge or outro to the verse, I took out any woodwinds, and then I just left the bell guitar and I added the bass back in. So as you can tell, like with this last one, I pitched this up 4, so originally it just sounded like that. That's the original pitch of the whole composition itself, and then I just ended up raising it up 4 semitones. So once that was in play, I had the melody put into its own mixer track. I did some effects processing from there, and granted, we are broke boys, talking about fucking broke, just broke. So we don't have any RC20 or anything like that. So just I just threw vinyl on there for some detune and warp to it, and also add like a little bit of wear and tear to it itself. Changed the year down to 1970. Put on effect rack. I just went ahead and did the preset basic punch or basic vintage punch. Then threw on some fruity chorus, left it on its main preset. Then just messed with the dry wet knob until like I liked how the sample itself was sounding. And then I went over to fruity flanger and then left it on the main preset as well. Just mess with the dry wet knob. And once we had that done, rendered it out, and again, like I showed you guys earlier, came out like this. Alongside with the effects, I went over to these drum kits over here that I got from Cody, and he had some vinyl static, yeah. And I had it dunder and the like static things that he got listed here, and I just looped them over and over again throughout. It isn't entirely too complicated. It's just about knowing, one, how to make a decent melody, which if you start off with a decent or start off with a trash melody and bad sound selection, then you're already losing. So start out with good sound selection, make a melody that you think is fire for yourself, and then from that point, render things out the WAV files, add a little bit of effects before post-processing, and then once you get to post-processing, go ahead and just add like detune, basic like vinyl stuff, just to add character to the whole. So if you guys aren't doing that, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on my Instagram, Twitter, links in the description. Pretty soon here, I'm going to be dropping my very first loop kit, Forest Hills, and it will be coming out once I get to 100 followers on Instagram. So if you guys want any of these right here, go ahead and give me a follow on Instagram. I will be dropping the loop kit for free. It'll be free everywhere. And yeah, so this has been 2K1. Thank you guys for watching. I'm out. Peace.